and you do Rafat Siri. O guardians of Israel, protect them, preserve the remnant. Shomer, Shomer Yisrael, guardian of Israel. Shomer, Shomer Yisrael. Shemor, protect. She'erit, the remnant, just a few. Yisrael. And then V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad. So it could never be said that Ha'omrim, those who say Shema Yisrael, should ever disappear. This is an interesting text. It's only sung on the days that we do it, called Tachanun. Tachanunim are certain kinds of supplications. We don't do them on Shabbos generally because it's, requesting. But we're in a time of request, don't you think? So it has an interesting melody too. It goes like this. Shomer, Shomer, Yisrael. Each line is twice. Shomer, Shomer, Yisrael. Shemor, She'erit, Yisrael. Shemor, She'erit, Yisrael. Now punch it. V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, Yisrael ha'omrim Shema Yisrael. Then hit the melody. Ya-da-da, 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 ya-da-da. Now punch it. V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, Yisrael ha'omrim Shema Yisrael. Here we go. V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, Yisrael ha'omrim Shema Yisrael. Oh, hold on a second. Here's another one.
Okay, good.
This one for my father-in-law.
Oh.
Alaun yo nasi. Alas dos
This is my dad. He's going to be 99 in just a few weeks. I know I shouldn't tell anybody. But the most important thing is that he had his 10th great-grandson named for him.
Here we go. Alma, vida y corazón. Alma, soul, vida, life, and heart. Alma, vida y corazón. 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 Now look, what we're doing here, when we show up, on the first Friday night, we're building what's called a diwan, or a divan in Hebrew. Diwan is a collection of tunes. And so each Friday that we appear, we're going to add a tune to the diwan, the collection. Every community in the Eastern Mediterranean at one time would create its diwan, which was music and poetry that characterized the community. The first one was in the name of, during the time of the Holy Ari in Sfat, his name was Najera. His name came from a river in northern Spain where his family came from. And he ended up in Damascus and then in Palestine, Israel. So we have his diwan. It's the first one I think we have. So it may be the first songbook of a community that we have, Israel Najera. So we're compiling one. So each time that we appear here, we'll have a new tune. And we've got 4 or 5 already. So we're on our way. We got plenty of poetry.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. You know, these are the end times. And Shabbat is always a gift of a little taste of the world to come. So I invite everyone to take a breath and leave the schmutz behind for just a few moments as we nourish our souls with the prayers and the songs and the chants and the learning that comes with this wonderful time that's given us, this gift of time. The very first thing that was made holy in the Torah was time. Not a thing, not an object, not something we could hold in our hands, but time. And I think as time goes on, we recognize that time is a gift. Oh my goodness, how wonderful to see you here, healed, hopefully, and on your way to returning. And I wonder, Marilyn, in gratitude for the healing, if you'd come and light our candles. Time. Sometimes we're in moments that feel so dark, and then for a moment, there is a spark of light. We say to each other, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. And we always begin by welcoming angels. I remember my grandfather, Papa Sam, my father's father, when I came home from Israel from rabbinical school, he was ill, and I wanted to see him because we knew the time. He didn't have much time left. I went to see him, and he was in the hospital, and I said, Papa Sam, it's me, Susie. I'm studying to be a rabbi. He laughed. I mean, we thought he couldn't hear, but he laughed. He says, sing Malagenia Shabbat, which was Malachei Hasharet. That's what he said. Sing Malagenia Shabbat. Prove that you really know what you're doing. That's what he used to call it. So every time I get to Shalom Aleichem, I do think about the generations. Today, this past week, we welcomed, as I said, the 10th great-grandchild to Mushon. And your granddaughter, Sarika, named for your mother, named her son Mushon, for you. So let's turn to page 6 and welcome the angels.
In this version, we have 3 sets of angels. We have a helpful angel, we have a mischievous angel, and we have a reconciliator angel, a middle pole. So we have a right pole and a left pole, a dyad, and then we have the integrating pole, the Malachei Harachamim, the angels of mercy. What page, honey?
Page 6.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashari, Malachei Elyon, Malachei Harachamim, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Malachei Harachamim, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Malachei Harachamim, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitechem L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Malachei Harachamim, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And we welcome the extra soul. We welcome the angels, then we welcome that extra soul, and then we welcome, hi Paul, Paul. We welcome the bride, the queen, the feminine presence, the thing that brings balance. L'chadodi, we say, to you, my beloved. So we call to all of those things that help make us whole with L'chadodi. The last verse, our custom is to rise if you're able, to face the gate, to imagine her entering, filling the spaces between us. At the end.
Not yet.
Not yet. The last verse. We get it. Good listening, though. Thank you. We'll tell you when. All right. So, page 8. We welcome the holiness to come and be a presence, filling the spaces between us.
This is a melody that was collected in Sarajevo. Came to there by way of Salonika, where my people are from.
No, my people. Your people, actually. My dad's mother, Sarika, came from Salonika, where this melody comes from.
Come, my beloved, let us greet the bride. We call her a bride, we call her a queen. We call her Malchut. The Kabbalah of Kabbalat Shabbat is Malchut is the Shekhinah, the inner presence, the quiet presence. This the most poetic of our ceremonies of prayer. The Kabbalah of Shabbat, Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming Shabbat, with these poems dedicated to the arrival of the Queen. Do we imagine her? Yes, that's always the point. And in the last verse, we greet her because she comes where she's supposed to come, through the door. We welcome her. She comes looking for her beloved, who is us. And on Shabbat, we allow ourselves to be found. L'cha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat. Ramor v'zachor b'diborecha, השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד לשמועך לשם ולתפארת ולתחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי כי באורק ומיורי יורי יורי שדברי גבול אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצות חולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה 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 לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה.
If you're able, we remain standing and call each other to prayer with the words of the Baruch Hu found on page 11. We can remain standing if you like to call each other to prayer.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך המבורך לעולם ועד המבורך המבורך לעולם ועד.
Page 15, Lishma. You can be seated if you like. Standing or sitting. Sitting is okay. It's okay.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
Yeah, later.
On page 16, we chant together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meotecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Vashinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'feitecha uvlektecha v'derech ushofbecha uvkumecha ukshartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Leman tiskaru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kadoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lechem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem. This week, we find ourselves at the shores of the sea. The portion is Bishalach, and of course the song is the Michamocha. So instead of waiting to do a little Torah teaching, I'm going to try to do it right now, to set up the song that we sing in every service. The words that Moses and Miriam and all of the people of Israel dared to sing as they crossed the sea.
Let me sing one verse.
You want to sing one verse first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sing one
Sing a
verse.
verse.
That Moroccan one.
Okay. Here's the verse. It's good. I think this is the way it sounded, crossing the sea. Where did that melody come from? Morocco.
Where my people are from.
That's where your people are from. I know. So the portion begins with our leaving that narrow place, that place of slavery that keeps us stuck and brings us to the first great challenge of the journey. Afraid that we will die at sea, we are ready to go back to that awful place of slavery. Why did you bring us out of Egypt, we asked, just to die here? And even Moses, standing at the sea before it's parted, has his doubts. So our liberation narrative is not rosy. The matzah doesn't rise. We cannot take the shortest route because we might be put off by war. The road not taken made all the difference in this story of this long, long, difficult journey of liberation. We will complain again and again. We will get manna and water and even quail. We'll get the Torah and many signs that we are not alone. But we will have many lessons to learn and relearn at every turn. We will get old wandering, and at some point, we will realize that it is time for the next generation to take over, and they will. But we will still find meaning in the journey because for all our complaining, we will remember the agony of slavery, and we will remember what it felt like for that glorious moment when we believed that the sea parted for us. The impossible became possible, and no one could take that perfect, beautiful, miraculous moment away from us. The sea parted, and we walked through on dry land. This moment is the source of our faith, the source of our strength, the source of our humility, and the source of our song. So I ask you to close your eyes for a moment and try to go back to that place, that moment when you too are stuck and you may be afraid. Your head says, no, I can't. But your heart and maybe your friends say, it's time to move on. It's time to take that leap and to go. See yourself at the sea. What is the sea for you? See it part and sing your way through. So the symbol that we hold on to is the sea. In every service, at every crossing, there is for us a sea of infinite grace, of pure love, a sea that draws us in and makes it impossible to return to where we were, to what we were, because it will not part. We cannot go back ever again. We have crossed over, and we will not ever go back. This is who we are. We are a people who must cross the sea before us. Think of all the many seas that we have crossed. Seas we crossed even when we could not know for sure that something better was before us. Seas we crossed for our sake, for the sake of our children and future generations. And I know that we are thinking now of the immigrants and the refugees of today, the people we are bound to by our common histories, our common stories, our common longing to make a better life for our children, the immigrants and the refugees who have and continue to be a blessing for this country that was founded to be a home for the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. When we left our narrow place, we vowed to leave no one behind. We promised that we would not forget our story when we would hear it again and again. So the question is, how will we go through our sea? Will we be silent or will we sing? Will our story be one of submission and fear, or will we boldly sing our way to freedom? This moment, this very moment that we're in again, dares us to choose. Will we give in to the knowledge that surely Amalek, evil, is waiting for us on the other side? Or will we find a way to march together believing that the good in us will win over the bullies and self-serving autocrats? And in that moment of utter fear, of the moment and of what was coming next, we know that Moses and Miriam and the people of Israel could have walked through in silence. They could have looked down and been worried, and that would have been okay. We would have accepted it. We would have understood it. But instead, that man who stutters and can hardly speak, he bursts into a song that combines the tension of suffering and the joy of salvation. Moses dares to sing when there is both. He dares to sing in the tension of a God that is both, a God of war and a God of compassion. When most would choose silence, Moses leads us in song. There is a Rabbinic tradition that says that there are 10 songs that span human history, from the Shirat Hayam, this song, to the coming of the Messiah. And this Shira, this is the first song. It is not sung at the arrival. It is sung as we journey. We sing even before we know we will be free. Az Yashir, we sing. And the challenge is to keep singing. Into the future, keep singing. In the suspense and anxiety of the crossing Moses finds, he finds it in his heart to sing. The meeting of both terror and joy, destruction and birth. They take Moses and the people and they turn silence into song. The wonderful commentator Aviva Zornberg says that what is uncontainable and inexpressible gives voice to the mystery. Giving voice to the mystery, you see, is song. The Sfat Emet says that this is the very first time that we have experienced real faith, because we were not just bystanders to the miracle, we were participants in the miracle. Our act of commitment, our leap into the sea, earns us faith and takes us to a new stage in our relationship with God. This transcendent moment of the song fuses justice and love, terror and ecstasy. It is the holy and song, the holding on and letting go at the same time song. And then Miriam, the first person to be called a prophet, leads the people in song and in dance. She says, you must each of you sing your own freedom song. And she leads us with song and dance and drums, and we get a glimpse of what it is supposed to be and see how we are supposed to live. It will take us a long time to get back to this moment, but we tasted it. We knew it was possible. It was planted in us, and I know each of us has our stories. I look at my father and I think of his parents, how they dared to leave the Ottoman Empire in 1916 between the wars with a little baby and nothing more than Shabbos candlesticks. They came in steerage to Ellis Island. They left their families behind. They didn't know what they were coming to, but they dared to cross that sea. And otherwise, we wouldn't be. So we know what that delicious moment is. We know when there was pure joy and pure equity with no hierarchy and no disparities. And that's why we sing this song. In every service, we sing this song. The holy chutzpah of this song reminds us in every service that a better world, a more just world, a more loving world is possible. Page 18. Page 20. What does it mean to be a shelter? What does it mean to be a sanctuary today? These are the conversations we're having because we care. We know that every life is a whole world, connected to whole worlds. And so we are called to spread this Sukkot Shalom, this shelter of peace, to all those who could benefit.
Sukkot Shalomecha, spread over us the shelter of your peace. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei Sukkot Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all people, and over Jerusalem, Jerusalem, over Jerusalem. We are praying for the peace of Jerusalem. We are praying for the peace of Jerusalem. We are always waiting. We are praying for the peace of Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Page 21, please. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. The children of Israel shall keep the Shabbos, observing it in every generation as a covenant for all time. It is a sign forever. Between me and the people of Israel 4 and 6 days, the Eternal One made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day, Shabbat, vayinafash, 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 vayinafash. God rested, vayinafash. God breathed the soul into creation. Vayinafash, vayinafash, vayinafash. God breathed the soul into creation. Did it, did it, did it, did it, did it, did it, da 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 da. Dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, and did it, did it, did it, did it.
Page 21. Usually we rise for the tefillah, so I invite you to rise if you're able. This is a time in the service when we pray for our own personal prayers to be heard.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach. O God, open up my lips, that my mouth may speak a little poetry. O Adonai, sifatai tiftach. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Open up my lips, so my mouth may speak a little poetry.
take a moment with the prayers that are here, or the prayers you find in your own hearts, and we'll invite you to be seated when you're done. We'll continue the service on page 29. Page 29, right in the middle.
No.
No? Not, no. Not in, not.
I don't know, losing my
here?
voice here.
Oh,
But I'm looking into somebody's living room right here. You know, I can see through these cameras.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm gonna sing this for Cuba.
Harriet?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Harriet's Gaga. It's Harriet Blickenstaff's mother's yahrzeit. I know she asked us to. And it's also my mother's yahrzeit. You know that it's my mom's yahrzeit, Dad, and it's Gaga's yahrzeit. And God takes, but also God gives.
A la una yo nací. At one I was born. A las dos me grandecí. At two I grew up. A las tres tomé amante. At three I had a girlfriend. A las cuatro me casé. At four I married. A las tres tomé amante. A las cuatro me casé. Alma, vida y corazón. 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 Soul, life, heart. I can't make that sound.
Okay. Prayer for peace. Okay. Healing prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Prayer for peace. Okay, so we have a healing prayer, a mishaberach, that we offer in every service, and we have people that have asked us to pray for them. You know, why do we do healing prayers? We've been doing healing prayers here for a long time. Actually, it was Al Rose when he was praying for his Sarah Ellen Rose. When she had cancer, and he said we have to be able to do something. And so he started healing circles many, many years ago. And we kept up with it. And now, you know, even when our prayers aren't heard in ways that heal the body, somehow we have to believe that they do touch the spirit. They do touch the soul, and they help us to know that we've done everything that we can. So the healing prayers, our list is for Bob Duffy and for Hank Weber, should be doing well, for Matt Braun and Jane Grady and Sister Carla Mae Streeter, who I know sometimes watches, Ruth Masco and Anna, I know you're watching, Anna Navarro, Alan Leibowitz, Safira Batgadi Dovasara, Jeff Raffleson, Vicki Freeman, Michael DePlacido, we're thinking of you, Steve Arnold, hope you're better, Alan Portman, and Havasara, Hannah Roberts, Marilyn Weiss, Amy Lampert, Bitzalel Cohen Ofori, Kalanit Chappell, Maggie Bradford, Jordan Cronemer, Drew Patcham, Robert Shepard, and Meredith Berkowitz are the names that I have. Do you have names that you would like to add? Gotcha, Rich. We got Richard covered. Got him covered. Got you covered. Yeah, Elle. I'm sorry? For Lisa Huxley. What's wrong with Lisa Huxley? Oh. Well, definitely praying for Lisa. Refuah Shlema. Anybody else? Yeah, Sarah. Huh? For Carol. Thank you. Yeah. For your mom, Rachel. We pray for her. Thank you. Anybody on the stream?
Yes, we're praying for Amitai Beniso, Ginny Weil, Richard Burns. That's all.
Kind of reminds us who to give a call to, you know? So, thank you for saying the names. I'm sorry?
Our friend,
Jan Bride, thank you. Thanks, Marianne. For all these people and all the people we hold in our hearts, here is a beautiful healing prayer from Jerusalem.
עשתך, אין מרחם בלעדך. תפילתי והוא של עזרתי, אל הירצה תפילתי והוא של עזרתי, במהרה דרור קרא לעם בנגה בירה, במהרה דרור קרא לעם בנגה בירה, לפצירי הנאמן, כי אתה רופא אומן, לפצירי הנאמן, כי אתה רופא אומן, את ראשי שוחלשי, אתן כוח לנפשי, את ראשי שוחלשי, אתן כוח לנפשי.
Heal my pain. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh hacholim. Blessed is the source of love and healing. Oh. Gee. Did you hear? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a big loss. Yeah. You hear about someone passing Erev Shabbat. You know, the tradition is that they go right to heaven. No waiting. Because, on Shabbat, there's no technical healing, no technical mourning. So, unfortunately, our friend Bob Duffy passed today, and that was the note I just received. So, and I know he's a colleague of yours, probably a good friend. Good friend, of all of ours. So may his memory, Zichrono Livracha, may his memory be a blessing. Thank you. And you want to do Shomer Yisrael?
Okay.
Can we do that? So as we said, in each service we like to introduce another kind of melody that is, that we could maybe use and put into what we do here. This one we've done many times, actually, and it felt right to me because it asks for Shomer Yisrael, It asks for a guardian for Israel, and not just the nation, but the people, and for those who struggle with God, however you interpret Israel to be, those who are struggling, those who are friends, those who are allies, may all of those. Someone said to me today, you can't count on your FBI protection anymore, but I have somebody for you. I went, what? But the things are changing right now. I went, what? I wasn't really thinking in those terms, but we have had, things are changing, and we just need to feel that we are doing everything we can, not only to keep ourselves safe, but those we love safe, our neighbors, our friends. And the way do we do that? Some years ago, in the first Trump administration, a little girl at CRC named Ella was in 3rd grade, and she was really scared. Somebody had told her I mean, she was adopted from Guatemala. Nothing was going to happen to her. She was here legally, and she was in a very wonderful family that wasn't going to let anything happen to her. But one of her little friends said, you know, you're an immigrant, and you could be taken. And she was really scared, and she didn't really have the words for it. So I went into her third grade class right across the street, and I gave the kids a toolbox. And it included lots of things, like ideas like you are in the image of God and nobody's messing with you, you know, you're beautiful, and lots of different tools. And we gave them the Shema. I said, when you're scared, you sing the Shema because it has magic to it. And as I was leaving and I gave them the 10 tools for their toolbox and they were all feeling good, little Ella said, Rabbi Susan, you forgot one thing. I said, what was that? She said, you forgot friends. Friends are the most important tool in the toolbox, and I feel that now. And this is the time to pick up a phone and call a friend who might be scared. Call a person who just might be, you know, an acquaintance, and say, I'm thinking of you. And I understand, and I want you to know I'm here. And I'm thinking about you. We have to be really good friends now and know we have friends and that we can be friends. This is a time to build those relationships. So when I thought about to ask Jimmy what to teach us today, it was this words, Shomer Yisrael, his prayer. Shamor She'erit Yisrael.
What also is interesting about this prayer, there's a whole story that goes with it, but I'll give that over another time. But this is one of the few prayers that Maimonides cites. He suggests it doesn't have a fixed text, that it should be spontaneous. And this is the part that was passed down. But the rest of it, he said, make it spontaneous. Just emote, you know. Shomer, Shomer Yisrael, O guardian of Israel. Shomer, Shomer Yisrael. Shemor, protect the remnant. She'erit Yisrael. Shemor, just some of us, just a few of us. We're not that many. She'erit Yisrael. Then, V'al Yovad, so that those who say the prayer Shema Yisrael shall never vanish. V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad Yisrael. Haomrim Shema Yisrael. Yarara, 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 yarara. Now punch it. Al Yovad, Al Yovad, Al Yovad Yisrael. Haomrim Shema Yisrael. Yarari, yarara, yarara, yarari, yarara, yarara. V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad Yisrael. Haomrim Shema Yisrael.
the Shema be magic for the people who sing Shema Yisrael. And that's the prayer we say just before we die. It's the prayer we teach our children to say before they sleep at night. It's the prayer that the Talmud actually has a wonderful teaching about. It says that if you are standing in a place that makes you feel really uncomfortable, and you know that somehow your stars or the stars are not aligned, and you know in Hebrew, stars are mazel, so that's why we say mazel tov, may your stars be good. But if your mazel are not good, you're feeling like they're off, and you look down and you see what you're standing in is not really clean, it says take 3 steps to the left and sing the Shema 3 times and say thanks, Avi. And say, no, they say thanks, Avi. Say, the she-goat at the butcher is fatter than I. This is actually in the Talmud. And what does that mean? It means things could be worse. Like you could be the she-goat. So even the rabbis in the Talmud believe that the Shema has magic. That the Shema is a formula. It's a formula to sing and to say when we don't know what else to do. So let's remember those who have died at this time. If you have a yortzeit or you're saying Kaddish at this time, we'll invite you to stand first. I know Yael is here for her mother. I want to say. Oh, so for your mother and your grandfather, may their memories be a blessing, and may they find each other. In the back? Thank you for remembering him with us. Teresa? Thank you for remembering her. May her memory be a blessing. And thanks for bringing the pictures from your bar mitzvah. They were all there. Thank you, thank you. I'm sorry for your loss, David. Thank you.
For my father-in-law, John's father, Pat Goldberg.
May his memory be a blessing. Thanks, John.
My father, Joseph Moss.
May his memory be a blessing. Thank you. For your father-in-law, thank you.
For my father,
Norman
Norman Cohen.
Cohen
And my husband, Rich Lynch.
and Rich. Thank you so much. Really? Where was your rabbi? In Poland. And what was his name? Sam. May their memories be a blessing for your family and the generations. Helene? And Daisy. Thank you. Sarah?
A cousin married Kilroy Kogash and Gladys.
Thank you, Sarah.
For my grandmother, Mary Virginia.
Thank you for remembering her. Paul? For Bob Duffy. Wow, what a loss. What a great soul. Did so much for this community. Dad, I know you want to say Kaddish for your sister who died the same day the baby was born. Your last sister, your last living sister.
I also like to mention Marilyn,
Yeah,
my darling wife.
yeah.
And she was a widow.
She was a winner. Yeah,
I love this song.
I know you did. For my mom, for your beloved, for your soulmate, and also for Clarissa Talvey, who was the youngest of 7 and passed away just as this baby was born. And she was a flamenco dancer, very famous. She danced with Carmen Amaya Oh, yeah, she was. Now, in her day job, she was Risa of the Nile. She was a belly dancer, and she taught belly dancing at Carnegie Hall. Oh, yeah. If you're interested, her book is called Dancers Never Die, which we're hoping is true. Anyway, so I also have lots of names. Are there names in the on the stream, Michael?
Yes, we're remembering Baby Benicio, Chula, Judith, and Avi Sasson, Pat Grisp, Marlene and Jim Tony, Erwin Pollock, and I'm remembering my grandmother, Susan Koppelman.
Susan Koppelman, another Shiro. Thank you, Michael. So let's stand together with our mourners so they do not stand alone, as we also remember those from our community, Harry Prince, Rick Grodsky, and we mentioned Ann Hush, Max Lieberman, the father-in-law of Joy, Mayor Mitchell, and Peggy Hellman is here, and Gaga Shirley Denny Goldberg. If you remember Denny's from downtown, that was her. That was Gaga Shirley. Emily Engelhardt, Steve's mom. Of course, we have Joseph Moss, we said, and Richard Lee Lynch, we said. Debbie Silverberg, Dorothy Bogard, who is actually who Rabbi Daniel was named for. I know because I was there. Lots of people think he was named for Daniel Bogard, his grandfather, but he was actually named for Dorothy Bogard, his grandmother. So may her memory be a blessing. We know them before we came to St. Louis. For Frayne Bogner, and William Kesson. Also, we have many people who have died this year. I'll read a few of them. Phyllis Goodfriend, and Lois Alper, and Bunny Shopper, and Kenneth Bach, and Eddie Bach, Vivian Eveloff, and Sam Fox, Molly Portman, of course, we said, and Sammy Schoss, Susan Koppelman, we said, and Jill Petzel, and Jackie Fenster, lovely woman, Carl Smith, Jerry Glick, Betty Miller, Sherry Fox, Morris Tamsky, Eddie Pepper, Marilyn Schreier, Leanie's mom, Ron Kramer, Philip Zatlin, Dr. Eduardo Sletopolsky, Eleanor Simpson, and Gary Sewell, Anne Lee Frank, Rhonda Banford, Ralph Wafer, and Barry Chapnick, Marilyn Fox, and Eileen Ehrlich. So for all of these good people, we say words that span the generations, words that don't mention death, but push us to live more fully and love more fiercely. You know, Dad, when Mom died, which is almost 18 years ago now, 18 years ago, everybody said you were going to follow her, that you did not want to be here without her. But you know, you're a lesson for all of us, because sometimes that happens. Somebody you love dies and you say, I'm done. But because of you, you know, we kind of think, okay, if you can do it, we can do it. And I know you get up every day and you thank God that you're here and you make the best of every day. And that's, I think, what the Kaddish teaches us. Love more fully, live more fiercely, and that's how we honor our loved ones the best. So let's say together, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chayedachol be'Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shemet t'kudasha b'richu, la'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi Shalom Rabba Min Shemaya V'Chaim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael Ve'imro Amen. Osei Shalom B'Rumah, Huya Osei Shalom. Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Ve'imro Amen.
Ve'imeru, 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 amen. Ve'imeru, 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 amen. Ve'imeru,
Amen. So, just a couple of announcements that we're still doing a winter clothing drive, and Mitzvah Corps is looking for volunteers, and lots of wonderful things going on. The next holiday, of course, is Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat says that even though it looks barren out there, underneath the earth, the sap is rising, right? The little source of life is there even when we can't see it. Come on, really? Wow. Oh, my. Well, it's going to snow again next week, so it'll confuse them like everything else. So we can put our arms around each other and give each other a blessing. Yeah.
Just want to make one little announcement.
Sure.
Next Friday night, I'm going to be chanting Torah, 10 Commandments.
Oh,
Look forward to seeing you there.
I think this is a custom that Robert Fishbone does each year in celebration, remembrance of your bar mitzvah. How many years is it now? Your what? 14 and 50 years. Right, perfect. Got it. Okay, so we give each other a blessing that we ask not only to take into our own hearts, but to share with all the people whose lives we touch and who could use a little blessing right now. So we say, Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May God bless you and guard over you, and Shomer Yisrael keep you safe. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May the upper worlds and the lower worlds come so close that they kiss, and may this world be a lot more like the world we know it's supposed to be. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yaseh lecha shalom. And may all that is good and high and holy bless you and keep you safe and give you a little Shabbat peace in your heart, your homes, our communities, and God willing soon, may there be peace for all creation. You know, they gave Miriam the wrong song in the portion. They gave her a war song, but I don't think she sang a war song at all. I think she sang a song of peace. So we are about reclaiming the story, reclaiming the narrative, reclaiming the story, and reclaiming the song. You'll drink to anything. So not to forget to keep singing songs of freedom, songs of hope, and songs of love. Shabbat Shalom.